Hello, everyone. Our second day in Vancouver had started early, and it was time to get some breakfast before going over to Granville Island. We sat down and started with some orange juice, getting a good look at the weather outside. Unfortunately, it was another wet day with cloud for the duration. But despite the weather, we were still in good spirits. My breakfast had arrived, and after, we first decided to explore around Sunset Beach Park, which had views of the mountains. It was an early April morning, so the beach was still fairly quiet at this time, which was nice for us as we had the beach mostly to ourselves. We also noticed that they used this area of the bay as a staging point for the main Vancouver harbor. I guess for anybody familiar with the ocean, they would find this pretty everyday stuff, but when you're like us from the prairies, this is all fascinating and new. That being said, these shells had a fascinating indigo color. It's one of the things I really like about beaches, a bit of a treasure hunt. Somebody had put a log out to sit on, which everybody was taking advantage of. The best view in the city, I was told. It was about 10 degrees on this April morning, so it was a bit chill. We then spotted a rowing club which had come out for some training. They may have been from the University of Vancouver as their campus is near the point there. But there are a couple rowing clubs around this area as well. Whatever organization they were from, it was a pleasure to watch them. We had noticed that these white ones had a single outrigger on the port side, although it's pretty hard to see in this video, unfortunately. It was time to make it over to Granville Island, but we felt the route over the Burrard Street Bridge would take away some precious time we had for the day, even though we would have liked to walk over and get a closer view of it. So instead, we opted for one of these water taxis, which are run by False Creek Ferries. They have 9 dock locations that allow you to take in most of the attractions in the False Creek area of Vancouver. We boarded at the Aquatic Center, and it was $3.75 each to get to Granville Island. They come and go fairly frequently from the docks, and it took us about 5 minutes to get over to Granville from the Aquatic Center dock. Taking a water taxi is also a great way to get a different perspective of this area of the city. The Granville Island dock was in front of us, and it was time to get off and check out the market area. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Today, Granville Island is mainly a shopping district, but it was once an industrial manufacturing area. Currently, it holds a market area which is in most of the shot here, but they also have restaurants, a hotel, which all began around the late 1970s. Within the public market area, there is a lot of unique items at the food area, which you may not normally find at a typical grocery store. However, it should be noted that Granville is a popular spot with tourists, so prices for some items are a bit high, and it can get crowded even during early April. How's that for a selection of dessert items? Anything you could want there. They even had some pride slices. And if you're into teas, this shop had a large selection. Leaving the public market, we had moved into an area with more retail shops, which included this Native American craft store. We really liked these puppets, which appeared to be based on animal spirits of the Northwest Coast. We also found this art store, but unfortunately it was closed and by appointment only.
It's gotten so good as well. I can't chew it. This mochi is a monster. It's like glue in my mouth. I bite it and I bite it, but I can't chew.
The manga that she was reading is based on the story I'm a Cat. It's a famous Japanese book from 1905, and the story is a good one, but as far as I'm concerned, it has an irrational ending, so unfortunately, it's maybe not fond of the story. We decided to go outside and walk around a bit, and we found these totem poles being worked on inside a workshop. Unfortunately, when we were there, the workmen were gone. It would have been really nice to have seen them working at their craft. We also found this Canada Goose couple getting a pretty commanding view of the area. Walking towards the ferry dock, we heard some music in the distance and wanted to hear some more. With no interest in a child that should be in school. I was a little surprised by this. I did not know you could operate a boat without a license in Canada. We also spotted this beautiful old boat in the marina. It was a shame that it was covered up, but we were still glad to see it. It was time to get on the ferry and head back.
Right, okay, yeah, that's the one, yeah. Maritime Museum.
While waiting to shove off, we noticed this great blue heron hanging out under the dock area.
Especially if I try to jump off. You gotta love this.
If you're in this area of Vancouver, I would highly recommend using these ferries, as they are much faster than taking the streets. And the experience certainly made the day a lot more enjoyable and has created a great memory. In the next video, we will be taking a much larger ferry that will take us over to Victoria and its attractions, so please look forward to it. I would also like to take this moment to thank those people that wished me well after my father's passing. It was really well appreciated, and I thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for stopping by.